What up, though, y'all? Thank y'all
Well,
for tuning in to Table for Two with Mike and Sheree. I'm Mike.
and I'm Cherie. Our show is about serving up love, laughs, and leftovers from last night's argument, helping you survive love one story at a time.
At Table for Two, we throw a little shade, keep it real about what it takes to make a love last, from dealing with intimacy issues, the lack of accountability, and everything in between. We're not therapists. We're just a couple on a journey of happiness, understanding, and growth. With that being said, let's get
Let's get
into
into
it.
it.
In our last episode, we talked about conflict. We're going to talk about the subject: is love enough to make a relationship last?
That's an interesting subject,
I
right?
know, right?
Because we're always taught growing up that all you have to do is find somebody that you really love, and you can make anything work.
Well,
Love survives all, right?
exactly. They always say, yeah, well, they say love conquers all.
Yeah, that's true. Love
Yeah, and
conquers
like
all.
fairy tale, like,
Man,
yeah,
I wish that were true.
I know. I wish all we need is love, like that.
The white picket fence, the dog, and
Yeah, all that's cool, but
love.
it ain't enough, right?
We learned that.
It
It's
definitely
not enough.
wish it was enough, y'all, but it ain't
Yes,
and
it is
ain't.
not and not.
Oh, and not.
As women, we're normally told that love fixes everything. If we love each other enough, love can conquer all. And if things aren't working, we're often told that we just don't love that person enough. But is that, in fact, a true statement?
I don't think so. There's a bunch of variables that go into relationships besides love. I'm gonna say love is probably like the least,
No,
the
I would
least
just
thing
say
in
I would
relate.
it's the foundation, but everybody's taught how to love very differently.
That's true.
Love means different things to a lot of different people.
That's true.
Right? So that definition in and of itself is very, wide. There's just a wide range that encompasses. It's very all
Do you love
encompassing.
me?
A
See,
little
that's
bit.
all. This is everyone, yo. Like, I love you unequivocally. So, see what I'm saying? I could say it. I could say it. I got
I'm
no qualms about
kidding.
loving on my
I'm
lady, bro.
joking. I'm joking. I'm
See what
joking.
I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
kind
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I'll take, kind of love me. That's cool. Whatever.
Ish.
Ish. Okay, I'll take it. But the culture does teach us
Mhm.
to chase love,
Right.
right?
Right.
But how do you maintain it is the question, because in the beginning it's all puppy dog eyes and rainbows and
It's a
dolphins, right?
it's amazing.
Yeah,
That
it's all
first segment, I should say, of love, we call it the honeymoon
the
phase.
honeymoon.
The honeymoon phase of dating.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Nobody can tell you anything, and nobody can knock you off that high that you have. You're like, "No, no, he's amazing." I think now they have, like, things called red flags, green flags, stuff like that.
Yellow flags, there's purple flags, there's all kind
It's
of
all kind of
flags now.
flags, but we didn't have that. All we saw was, "Okay, how does he treat me? Does he have a good job? Or how does she cook for me?" Very, very small, um, requirements as far as what it really takes to make a relationship work. We
Right.
had no idea about foundational issues. We had no idea about childhood traumas, difficulties, things like that. So we are going to talk about a season in our marriage that maybe we felt disconnected when we, of course, really loved each other, but we were actually very disconnected emotionally. Can you recall a time when that
I
happened?
might remember a time or two when you was disconnected from me, but I was never disconnected.
Okay.
I'm just playing, y'all. Oh, you
Mhm.
both were disconnected at some point or another.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna let that slide." So, babe, in our marriage, we've always had love present, right?
I think so.
But tell me about a time where you felt like we were in love, but we were disconnected, and how you felt.
So I know for a fact we've had several seasons like that, but I do remember a sticking point was when you moved to Florida by yourself before we moved together because you had to do that for your job. But it was very hard to keep an emotional connection with you because we were in two different places. And of course, we were on the phone,
Mhm.
but we were having disagreements. Very small conflict would turn into a large conflict. But I do believe that there were a lot of things at play. I think that it was the struggle to stay connected, even though we weren't in the house together.
And we were going back and forth, getting to see each other a
Mhm.
lot,
Mhm.
but it's just not the same after being in the house for so many years and to
Right.
be a part of it.
And then when I moved here, there was still this emotional disconnect because we had to adjust to getting back to, like, being together in the same house. I
It
was
was.
also struggling
Mhm.
because I missed everybody so bad, the homesickness. So I was really sad. That was hard for you because you felt like, well, I'm here. I'm present now. So this fixes everything. And I had to explain to you that me missing my family, as well as me loving you and being happy to be here, were both true at the same time. But it was hard for you because you didn't understand how, after all this time, when I was away from you, how at this point now I couldn't be in this super happy place and I was struggling and I had to try to continue to explain that to you.
Well, let me explain that.
Okay.
I mean, you did a good job, but just from my perspective, right?
Yeah, I can't tell you.
In my, the way I look at it was we've been going back and forth for a year. So every time I got a chance to see her, I was excited, right? Whether she was coming down or if I was going there, I would be excited. But it was only for a short time. It might be a Thursday to Sunday or just a long weekend. So after that year, yeah, when you moved down, I did have expectations that things are gonna be great off the rip because we're gonna be back together again. Everything's gonna be
Mhm.
amazing. We're back together under one roof. Yo, when I tell you that we had to get to know each other again and get to learn how to live
It's
together
true.
again,
It was bad.
it was
It was a little
bad. It
bad.
was real bad
It
because
was a little
it was
bad.
like almost like boyfriend and girlfriend for like a year,
It
or
was
like a
a
long distance relationship.
it was very much a rough time. We had to adjust. I was adjusting. We were adjusting to living back together again. Of course, even though we've been together for 12 years, it was a period of adjustment. We had never moved out of town. That was one time when we struggled emotionally to keep it together, trying to explain everything through the sadness, through the homesickness, through the missing the kids and family and things like that. So it was hard for us to stay connected because we were both in an adjustment period. We were adjusting not only to living together again, but to being homesick, very homesick. So
So
that
that was
is
tough
our
for me.
story.
So it was
That
really
was
like
our
a
story.
2 year rough patch because it was the
Mhm.
first year being apart. And then even the first year together, there was rough patches because you were going through emotionally and adjusting to life without the kids because kids are older and, leaving them at home and not seeing them every day. And at the time, I'm just like, well, what about me? I'm here now. We're here. We're together. Everything should be
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
Uh,
And I was like, "What about me? I'm sad and depressed, and you know this, and you know I miss the kids."
right.
So we were kinda struggling just to kind of reconcile those differences and try to, like, get on the same page and
Mhm.
try to connect with understanding and love, but again, love is not always the answer. You have to communicate what's happening inside of your head, and then that person or your husband needs to communicate what's going on and what they're feeling.
For sure.
So, that was a super rough patch. Super rough patch after it took about a year, and I felt like we got back on track, and I was happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's only been here 2 years. So that
Mhm.
gives you a timeline.
Mhm.
This
Literally
is
2 years
like,
in a couple of days.
so
This is
this is the new part. It's been a year since it's been
Mhm.
leveled out and good as far as that goes, right? Would you
I
say
agree.
that?
I agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It can take a while. If any of y'all thinking about moving across country and you need to be separate from your spouse for a while, you know, maybe one of you guys got a new job and you got to go ahead of the other person and get things set up for the family to move down. Let me know in the comments how that went for you, if it was tough, and how
Mhm.
you managed.
Mhm.
This is a big deal
Yeah, and how it
and it's a
affected
big
your
sacrifice
yeah, and how it affected your relationship.
for sure.
It's going to share.
Yeah.
Nobody's judging you.
No, we're
It's
judge free
okay.
zone here.
Ab Absolutely.
Namaste.
Because
Is that right, Nama?
I think so.
Namaste. So with that being said, is love enough? I feel like the answer is no.
I do too. I feel like of course, again, like I said, we were always taught that love is enough, and if you love each other, it can last. And if it's not working out, you feel a lot of guilt towards the fact that you feel like maybe you just don't love this person enough, but that absolutely isn't it. You have to have the tools and know what those tools are to be able to work through your tough times in your relationship.
So what would you say love needs besides love? Because we talked about the fact that love is enough, right?
Yeah. So I remember one time we were in our therapy session and our counselor told us, he said, "You guys have trust issues." It wasn't anything like somebody stepped out on anybody or
Right.
anything like that, but he could just hear our conversation and he said, "You guys have trust issues." And at the moment, I had no idea what he was talking about because I'm like, "What?" Like nobody has said anything about infidelity or anything like that. However,
So just
I
so we're
think
clear,
he
so trust issues come in different forms. So like a
yeah,
lot of people say you have trust issues
yes,
in a relationship, it always goes to fidelity, right?
it
But
does.
it doesn't necessarily have to be a fidelity
It
thing, an
absolutely does
infidelity
not.
thing when you're not
Correct.
trusting.
Correct.
It can be that you don't feel
Like you're emotionally safe with that
safe or
person.
taken
That's the
care of
biggest deal for
emotionally.
me.
Yeah.
Yep. You don't feel like you're in a safe space with that person. You can't communicate with that person without shutting down. And we've had both of those issues in our
Yeah,
relationship.
absolutely.
Absolutely have had huge trust issues with regard to not feeling like we're in a safe space. We both shared in the shutting down
Mhm,
part,
mhm,
right? Because we would get frustrated because our conversations would be very cyclical, negative cycle.
absolutely.
I do believe that relationships need effort.
Mhm,
You have to you have to, I don't know, ask yourself if you're trying. You can tell a person you love them a lot.
mhm.
You can love them. But I always say it is not what a person says, it's what they show you. It really is. And it's not like, oh, let me fix you breakfast. Oh, let me do a physical action for you. It's about, are you willing to do the things that I ask you to do that is going to better their relationship?
That might
It's
be breakfast or doing something
it
that I need you
absolutely
to
might
do
be
though.
it absolutely might be cooking breakfast, but for you and I, you know that effort was never about cooking breakfast. Effort was not about
Mhm,
any of those things, right? Effort for you was me doing some of the things that you requested me to do. And I was like, "No, I'm not doing that." But when I said, "No, I'm not doing that," I probably was not in a safe space with you, right? And I really when I reflect back on that, I can really say that that is right? I didn't feel safe, and for me,
explain some of what it means when you say you didn't feel safe, because it's not like, oh, we
I
were
didn't feel safe.
abusive. A lot of people
I
feel like
it
that
was not
this
an
is an
abusive thing.
abusive thing, but
Yeah. It was more so a him not validating my feelings at all, blaming me for a lot of things that were happening in our relationship and outside of our relationship, outside factors. So at
you mean
that
a
point, I
direct
didn't
hit.
feel it was a direct hit in a sense of I felt like you were not only attacking me, but I felt like you never had my back. And so, and we actually just had this discussion today wherein we talked about the safe space and what that meant for me and kind of reflected back on some of the things that were happening. And I told him where I felt like the safe space ended. And he knows what that is for me. And
Mhm.
that's where he said, "You changed." I said, "And you changed. You didn't have my back. You did not create a safe space for me." And one of the things that my therapist asked me at the beginning, she was like, "Why? What do you like about Mike? Like, what makes you happy?" And my first thing that came to my mind was, he makes me feel safe, like my dad did. And so for me, that's a huge deal. And once that protection or that safe space stopped, my vulnerability stopped, and so did my trust and my
And the sex game stop.
and
No, I'm playing. I'm
that is
playing.
not true,
Dang,
right? That never
I'm
stopped.
playing. We never stop.
But the emotional
But
intimacy absolutely did stop
absolutely,
because now I can't trust you
yeah.
and I don't feel safe. It's easy for me. The physical part is easy, but the emotional part is where I struggle. And so we would go back and forth about what's wrong and why is this happening? Why is that not happening? And it was constant and it was draining and it was very hard. And many times when we felt like we weren't going to make it.
Mhm.
So in saying all that, with the issues and the problems that we had and going through the difficulty, I know a lot of times we were like, we need a therapist. We got to call somebody because we just could not navigate. Because a lot of times we would just go back and forth. But honestly, a lot of times you don't have that option as a going to therapy, right?
Mhm.
You don't have that option. So what are the options? Um, what is it that you're actually looking for or trying to have in your relationship? Do you want to have more communication in your relationship? And when I say communication, I don't mean just talking every day and say, "Hey, good morning. How was your day?"
Yeah.
But when a problem arises, actually having the ability to talk about it and resolve it. I
Mhm.
remember we were going through problems and we would talk about it and we
Mhm.
would talk about like how upset it made us. And then one day you said, but we didn't resolve it.
Yeah, we just fought about it, and there was no resolution. And I'm a resolution based person. Like I want to
Yeah.
resolve an issue and move on.
Right.
By the way, guys, you can check out our other video episode. It was about fighting fair, where we talk about.
And I remember one time I had this moment where I said to myself, what would I tell one of my girlfriends? What would I tell one of my girlfriends about how the conversation that we had and like how to make it better? You always have all this good advice for everybody else, but when it comes to you, you don't apply the same thing. So I started to think to myself, what would I tell a girlfriend? And then I started to talk to myself and tell myself these things like you would tell a girlfriend to do X, Y, and Z. And so this is what you need to do. Again, this is after years and years and years
Mhm.
of going through issues, trying to resolve them, going to therapy, and just trying to figure it out because we knew we loved each other. We knew we very much loved each other, but we have thought so many times that we were like, we can't do this. It's crazy. We don't want to do this, right? We don't want to fight. We don't want to hurt each other. We don't want to keep going back and forth with regard to how we feel about our relationship. Yeah.
So when they say
So
communication is key, it really is a very key point in a relationship to be able to talk, actively speak, actively listen when the person is speaking.
actively listen.
So communication, of course. Then you got right. Rely. Can I rely on your emotional?
Mhm.
Um,
That entails quite a bit
it
of
does.
detail.
It does. And for
Um,
me, with the emotional part of it, I think at one point we had a season where, well, no, I know at one point we had a season where when we had that cyclical thing going, where uh, I didn't trust you with my feeling, you didn't trust me with your feeling,
right.
and we had to kind of get that. So once we had the tool for that, I think we did a lot better. But
Mhm.
so in saying that, you definitely have to have those things, and it takes effort. You also have to have effort. So I would say trust, communication, and effort are three things that you have
Yeah.
to have outside of love. And some bread don't hurt either. A little feta cheese makes things work a little bit
That
better
is
too. You know what I
crazy.
mean?
That's
Get a
not
little
true.
shorty wop with
That's
some cheese, and we can
oh
work
my
anything out.
god.
Buy
That's
me something.
oh my
You know what I mean? Buy me a little something, something. Tell me shut up. Go play with. You know what I'm saying? With the boys or something. Send me to the strip club or something. You've never sent me to the strip club.
oh
You've never
my
gave me. Oh, wait,
god. I don't
I
not
think
send
you
you to the I
did.
don't not send you to the strip
I
club.
think
I'm
you
like,
gave me a
go to
band
the strip.
band one time and then told me to go. I can't. I feel like you
I would
did. It might have been
never
a birthday or
that
something.
I got you a lap dance and went to the strip
That's what
club
it was.
with
Yeah,
you. I got you several lap dances.
yeah. She got me
Anyway,
this picture up. The girl with the
anyway,
cheese, yo.
anyway,
Yeah.
that is not a part of communication, trust, or any of those values that we
It's
spoke
not.
about. It's about enjoying
It
yourself and
was
having a good
fun.
time. You absolutely had a
It
great
helped
time
our marriage survive.
and didn't and didn't.
Yeah. All right.
So, everybody, there are things that we kind of need to ask ourselves as we're going through this journey together and communicating. Just maybe some questions that sometimes we want to check in. We have to do number one. We do have to do check-ins.
Oh, we
Check-ins.
do
We do check-ins.
check-ins. Yeah, we do.
We do
Like, we'll just be
check-ins.
like, "Yo, babe,
Like,
how you feeling? Is everything
yeah,
okay? Is there anything you want to talk
it's
about?
true.
Get off your
We
chest."
love those.
Not like a how was your day? How was your days were good. Don't get me
Yeah, those are
wrong.
very basic.
Those are basic. You
Very,
should do those anyway.
and I
But those relationship check-ins where you're just like,
yeah.
"Hey, babe, anything you want to talk about? Has there been anything on your mind about our relationship
hmm
that's bothering you?" And be able to get that out there, right?
And
Safe
sometimes,
space.
and
Safe
sometimes
place to land.
it's a
Boom.
yeah, and sometimes it's a scary thing to ask those questions
It
because you
is.
really don't know want to know the answers. And really, at the end of the day, it's just a long conversation, and sometimes You're just nervous because you know that maybe things haven't been what they need to be in order to get like this positive answer. And if you know you have a person who may have been the person who always has the problem or has something to air out, then a lot of times you really don't want those conversations can be pretty uncomfortable.
It can be
They're
for
very
sure,
uncomfortable.
but they're necessary.
Mhm,
They're
mhm.
necessary to check in and make sure that things are still on course and doing what they're
Mhm.
supposed to, right?
Yeah, and don't wait until things are, like, really bad before you check in.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. And know
I
your
mean,
partner, man. Know
yeah.
your partner, know the room, know when to ask,
Yeah, sure.
you know?
You should be really doing regular check-ins, honestly. I should say we actually need to do more regular check-ins than we have. A lot of times in relationships, you get kinda I
Complacent.
know complacent,
Mhm.
that's a good word,
Yeah.
complacent. You get complacent, you're not doing the things you used to, and before you know it, you guys have fallen into this, like, very comfortable pattern, which absolutely is just very easy to do,
It is.
um, until this problem comes up. And then it's, "You're not doing this. I miss how this used to be."
I miss you wearing
Um,
lingerie.
mm,
You know, I miss how we used to, do it in the date night. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff that you used to do that you try to get away from. And
it's
it's not
true.
done on purpose, but you got kids,
True.
you have work, you made a new position at work and you're a boss, you got paperwork, but you still got to find time.
It's true, and you have life, and now we're at the point where now we have, um, maybe injuries. There's a lot of things that happen if you're
Bad
working out.
kneecap, hip replacements, all kinds of
Not
stuff.
hip replacements, but, like, there are things that people go through at this age where they may need surgery or things are
And
happening
they can't swing
medically.
off chandeliers no more.
Medically, things are happening that limits you because now you're limping and things hurt, like your back and your neck.
Well, your neck and your back.
Your neck and your back, right?
Yeah.
So both of these things. So all these things are considerations. It's nice when you have a partner that's loving and can understand these things. We absolutely have to make space for things like that because it's going to happen.
hmm
Nothing remains the same forever. We cannot grow old together if we cannot understand a back injury. I mean, come on.
You got to be able to
When you're working
understand a
out,
back.
you might have an injury or ankle or kneecap or whatever it
Yeah,
is. I don't know, calf, hamstring,
hip,
pull,
whatever.
you know, ligament. I don't know.
But
But love is powerful, but it's not the only thing holding our relationships together. We need lots of different tools. We need communication. We need trust. We need support, physical, emotional, spiritual. And in order for us to obtain all these things, we to work together. We have to be on the same page, and each person has to be willing to put in that work.
yeah, and be safe for each other.
All right, y'all. It's my favorite part of the show.
Y'all know what it is.
The
The truth
truth
comes
comes
out.
out.
We're asking questions, real questions.
And somebody's about to get exposed.
Let's get it.
Who orders who orders food like they're auditioning for a cooking show?
What does that even mean? What you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, give me an example. 'Cause I can't.
Well, I don't know. You're like taking things away from the menu items. You're
Yeah,
adding
adding.
things to the
I do
menu
not do
items.
that.
Absolutely, you do.
You ain't never seen me do that. Where you see me do that at?
Oh, okay.
At a
Okay.
like, where
Okay.
did you see me do that?
Okay. You always do it. I'm like, oh my God, why are you putting this server through? You do that.
I might ask questions about how the food is prepared or what's
You
in
do
it.
that and you add and you take away, but it's okay. It's okay. This is the truth. This is a truth segment.
Well, she
Okay.
is
The truth comes out.
king.
I'm not. I'm not.
You
All
capping.
right. Who snores and denies it?
You, for sure you. I'd be like, babe, you must have been hired last night because she'll be calling them hogs. I'd be like, listen, if I don't get her on tape
He literally did record it one
recording
time.
her,
He recorded. I'm
and
like, I do not
she
snore.
still was like,
I'm
that
like, I
ain't
do
me.
not snore. I did not say that.
Yes, you
ain't me.
did.
It
A
was
couple
It was a
times.
little shocking and surprising.
Yeah,
But I
couple
never
times.
said that ain't me because
Couple
you had
times.
proof. The
Yeah.
proof was there.
hmm
So I was like, all right, exception. All right, all right, all right.
Oh, you ain't right, bro. You are not right.
Who always loses the remote but swears they just had it?
That's me.
And then
100%.
I look in 2 places and boom, right up under the pillow, right there. Can't find it for nothing.
It's not really ever just right under
If it
the
was,
pillow.
I always say what?
If there was a snake in it, you just
That because it's right in your face. I feel it's
you
ridiculous.
got two people in a relationship. One who loses stuff and one who finds. I lose stuff.
I
She
find
finds
it.
it.
I find everything.
That's just the way it works.
Some people
We
don't
understand
look
it.
for things, and there's some people who do.
You look for things, or you
Well, when there's things in the cabinet, you're like, babe, where's the flower? I'm like,
okay,
it's
y'all.
right in
Hold
your
on, hold on, hold on.
face. Oh my God. Come on.
See,
Seriously.
you was doing okay until you brought up the kitchen.
Oh my
Listen,
God. Are you kidding?
no,
You
but
literally
listen,
look for seasonings and you're like,
no,
babe, where is
no. You
this?
know why? You know why?
No.
I put seasonings in a very specific place. So when I need them, I go back there to get them. This guy puts them in different places. So I'm like, okay, if you're not going to leave it where I left it
That's
at,
crazy.
then you got to come out here and find it because I'm
Crazy.
not about to open
That's
every cabinet in the
crazy.
kitchen looking for my seasonings when you could have just put it back where it goes.
Okay.
I
Well,
like my smoked paprika in a specific tray. If it ain't there, I'm not looking for it because that means you put it
crazy.
somewhere else
That's great.
and we don't run out of paprika.
We don't. That's
Or,
actually very essential.
yeah.
Anyway, side note, let's move on.
No, it's not.
No. You're exposed and you're
As
embarrassed.
are you.
It's fine.
So keep the seasonings where they belong. Even you know how you had a little jar on the kitchen counter, y'all, with you put your spatulas and your little whisk and all that stuff. You got your essentials, right? All that be right there.
That's great. Those are always in the right place or in the dishwasher.
Or you take some and
in
you
the
put them in a
dishwasher.
drawer, and I'm like, why is it in the drawer?
Because nobody likes an overfilled
This is why I had to
spatula,
come and ask
whisk,
her
and all that stuff.
to come and find the stuff because she puts it in different places. Nothing has those things.
That's not true.
Seasonings and utensils
That's
don't
not
have
true. They do have a home.
a
They
home.
do have a home.
They
We
move
don't
out
agree. We
sometimes.
don't
They go on
agree. We
vacation.
don't agree on certain areas. But since it's my kitchen, my seasonings. I mean, it's our seasoning. Actually. I'm
Wow,
sorry, I
the
take that back.
possession of it
I'm
all.
sorry, I take that back. Anyway, the truth comes out, and it is what it is.
I won. Let me know who won, y'all. I think I made a case.
Feel like this is not a win-lose situation. I feel like it's more so truth than anything, and it's cool. It's
I feel like I put a
It's
better
fine.
argument for winning.
This is not based on love at all, is it? Is this loving? Is this based on a love situation? Like we're not
I
gonna
feel like putting paprika in the same spot as you found it would be love.
a
Moving
relationship.
it around on me is trickery and foolery.
A relationship can't survive off of a person putting paprika back in the same spot. Okay, that's not what it is.
What if paprika in the same spot is my love language?
That can't be your love language. It has to be something.
There's a sixth love
Maybe
language.
maybe that. I can't with this one. Y'all, listen.
Remember, y'all, if love isn't enough, that's not a failure. It's just a sign that you've outgrown the fantasy and the real work has to begin. That's all
right.
it is.
That's right. We can't cover everything over in saying if you love this person, you'll make it work. Remember, y'all, love is powerful, but it's not the only thing that makes a relationship work. Again, as we talked about before, you need trust, effort, and communication to bring it all together and to make it work.
Share this episode with someone that's going through a season. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for new episodes every Wednesday. See you guys next time. Peace.